Would you pay $20 for a burger, or $8 for a coffee? In Norway, these prices are real. Everyday life here is shockingly expensive. Behind the stunning fjords and northern lights, the cost of living can be mind-blowing for outsiders. So grab your coffee, hopefully for less than $8, and let's dive into Norway's real prices. In Norway, even a basic loaf of bread costs $3 to $5, much more than in most countries. High wages, taxes, and import costs all add up, making every grocery trip a careful calculation. This is just the start of Norway's high cost of living. In Norway, a loaf of bread can cost $5, and a simple carton of milk, $4 to $5, no luxury, just regular milk. High prices come from protected agriculture, limited imports, and high wages, making even basics surprisingly expensive. In Norway, even a simple breakfast is pricey. Bread, milk, and especially eggs. A dozen eggs can cost up to $8 thanks to high wages and strict animal welfare rules. You're paying for quality, ethics, and food safety. But it makes every omelet a luxury. In Norway, even a simple breakfast gets expensive, especially when you add cheese. A regular block of cheese can cost $8 to $12 thanks to local production, high tariffs, and strict regulations. Compared to other countries, cheese here feels like a luxury. Quality and local support come at a real price. Even butter isn't cheap in Norway. A standard pack can cost up to $6 thanks to protectionist policies and high production costs. Every step, from farm to store, adds to the price, making your morning toast a surprisingly premium experience. So next time you grab butter, remember, even the basics come at a price here. In Norway, chicken breast isn't the budget-friendly staple you might expect. Thanks to strict animal welfare standards and high import tariffs, prices are shockingly high, sometimes double or triple what you'd pay elsewhere. So don't be surprised if you find yourself double-checking the label, wondering if you've picked up gold-infused poultry. In Norway, steak is a true luxury. High prices, strict animal welfare, and steep import taxes mean a quality cut can cost $20 to $30 or more, double that in restaurants. For most, steak is a rare treat, not an everyday meal, making every bite a special, carefully considered occasion. You'd think salmon would be cheap in Norway, right? But despite being a top exporter, fresh Norwegian salmon is surprisingly expensive, even for locals. That's because most salmon is exported and local prices are set by global demand. So, when you visit, expect sticker shock. Norwegian salmon isn't the bargain you'd imagine. Bacon is a breakfast classic, but in Norway, it comes at a sizzling price, up to $12 a pack. High labor costs, strict regulations, and tariffs all add up. For Norwegians, it's just part of life, but for visitors, that bacon is a true luxury. Welcome to the high cost of living in Norway. Potatoes, humble, versatile, and usually cheap. But in Norway, even the simple Spud comes with a surprisingly hefty price tag. High costs for farming, storage, and transport mean you'll notice potatoes on your grocery bill. In Norway, you might find yourself counting potatoes more carefully. Every krone counts. In Norway, an apple a day keeps your wallet lighter. Most apples are imported, and every step, shipping, taxes, and high wages, adds to the price. By 2026, buying apples feels like a luxury, not a simple snack. Even a single apple can cost over $1. Bananas seem cheap and basic until you're in Norway. Here they're nearly double the price, thanks to long shipping routes, high import taxes, and VAT. So that banana isn't just fruit, it's a tiny contribution to Norway's welfare state, and a reminder of how global supply chains shape what we pay. Next up, let's look at tomatoes. Much like bananas, tomatoes are a grocery staple we often take for granted. We toss them in salads, slice them for sandwiches, and use them as a base for countless sauces. In many parts of the world with warmer climates, tomatoes are abundant and, therefore, relatively inexpensive. But in Norway, the story is quite different. The country's northern latitude and colder climate creates significant challenges for growing sun-loving produce like tomatoes year-round. While there is some local greenhouse production, it's an energy-intensive and costly process, which means you're not going to find bargain bin prices on fresh, locally grown tomatoes. The majority of tomatoes you'll find in Norwegian supermarkets, especially during the long, dark winters, are imported. They come from warmer European countries like Spain, Italy, or the Netherlands, where they can be grown more easily and cheaply. However, just like with bananas, this introduces a whole chain of costs that the consumer ultimately has to shoulder. You have the cost of refrigerated transport to keep them fresh, the import duties levied at the border, and the standard high VAT that applies to most groceries. Each step of this journey adds a few more kroner to the final price tag you see on the shelf. This high cost forces a different kind of consumer behavior. While you might not think twice about grabbing a pound or two of tomatoes in another country, in Norway, it becomes a more deliberate purchase. You might buy just one or two for a specific recipe rather than stocking up. Or, you might opt for canned tomatoes, which are significantly cheaper and offer a more budget-friendly alternative for sauces and stews. It's a perfect illustration of how climate directly impacts not just agriculture, but the daily economic decisions of every single household in the country. It really changes your perspective on what fresh is worth. So, when you're planning your meals in Norway and a recipe calls for fresh tomatoes, it's something you need to budget for specifically. That simple caprese salad suddenly becomes a more premium dish. The cost is a direct reflection of the resources required to defy the natural climate, either through energy-hungry local greenhouses or a long, complex international supply chain. It's a reminder that in some places, a fresh, ripe tomato in the middle of winter isn't a given. It's a small and sometimes expensive feat of modern logistics and engineering that you pay for at the checkout. In Norway, bell peppers are sold per piece, not by weight, often costing several dollars each. This is due to the high cost of growing them in energy-intensive greenhouses or importing them. So, every pepper is a conscious, costly choice, making you rethink recipes and avoid waste. In Norway, even a simple chocolate bar like Freia Melkesjokolade can cost $4 to $6, much more than in most countries. High taxes, wages, and a sugar tax all add up, making this everyday treat surprisingly expensive. For tourists, it's sticker shock. For locals, it's just part of life, turning a quick impulse buy into a careful decision. In Norway, a simple scoop of ice cream is a luxury. Expect to pay $5 to $7 for just one scoop. 10 if you want toppings. High dairy costs, sugar taxes, and expensive labor all add up, making ice cream a special treat, not an everyday snack. Even tourists think twice before splurging on a cone with a fjord view. In Norway, a simple bottle of Coca-Cola can cost up to $5, much more than in many other countries. Taxes, high wages, and operational costs all add up, making this everyday drink a luxury. Compared to the US, you'll pay more than double for the same Coke here. No wonder most people in Norway just stick to water. In Norway, bottled water can cost $3 to $4. Despite the country's pristine natural springs and excellent tap water, it's a classic convenience tax, driven by high taxes on single-use plastics and operational costs. Bring a reusable bottle and refill for free. Norwegian tap water is some of the best in the world. In Norway, grabbing an energy drink can cost you $5 to $6, double or triple what you'd pay elsewhere. Taxes, import duties, and high labor costs all stack up, making that quick boost a pricey habit. The smarter move? Switch to coffee or caffeine pills. Much cheaper, and your wallet will thank you. Coffee is a morning essential for many, but in Norway, even making it at home costs more. Since all coffee is imported, shipping, tariffs, and high labor costs add up fast. A bag that's $10 in the US might be $20 here. So, buy in bulk, watch for sales, and always brew at home. It's still cheaper than daily cafe visits. In Norway, McDonald's isn't the budget meal you expect. By 2026, a Big Mac, fries, and soda could cost you up to $18, more than a sit-down meal elsewhere. High wages and costs drive up prices, making fast food a mid-range expense here. For tourists, it's shocking. For locals, it's just life in Norway's high-cost economy. In Norway, a sit-down restaurant burger will set you back around $20, sometimes more with toppings. High ingredient and labor costs mean even a simple burger is a premium meal here. It's a delicious but undeniably expensive part of the Norwegian culinary experience. Pizza is a global comfort food, but in Norway, a regular margarita or pepperoni can cost $20, $25, sometimes even more with extra toppings. High wages, energy, and ingredient costs make pizza a planned treat, not an everyday meal. That cheesy slice is more than dinner. It's the price of living in a prosperous, expensive nation. In Norway, even a simple hot dog, what you'd expect to be a cheap snack, can cost you up to $10. High wages, expensive ingredients, and steep rents all add up, making this classic street food surprisingly pricey. So if you're visiting Norway, remember, even the most basic snack can stretch your budget. In Norway, grabbing a late-night kebab isn't cheap. Expect to pay $15 to $18 for a simple wrap. What's a budget meal elsewhere is a mid-range option here. High wages, rent and ingredient costs drive prices up, so tourists are often shocked. If you're planning a night out, budget accordingly, or have snacks ready at home. In Norway, even a simple sandwich can cost $10 to $15, much more than in the US. High wages, expensive ingredients, and a costly supply chain all add up. That's why so many Norwegians pack their own matpakke lunches. If you want to save money, skip the cafe and make your own sandwich at home. In Norway, a simple donut can cost $4 to $6, far more than in the US. High labor, ingredient, and rent costs turn this humble treat into a luxury. But for Norwegians, paying extra is part of enjoying coziness, and simple pleasures. It's not just a donut, it's a pricey moment of comfort. Norway is famous for its salmon, so you'd expect sushi here to be both amazing and affordable. But while the quality is top-notch, the price is not. A basic sushi meal can cost $20 to $30 thanks to high wages, imported ingredients, and steep operating costs. The freshness is unbeatable. But for most Norwegians, sushi is a luxury, unless you make it at home. In Norway, a simple soft drink at a restaurant can cost up to $6. No free refills, just syrup, water, and ice. High wages, rent, and a sugar tax all add up, making this one of the worst values for your money. The smart move? Order tap water. Free, delicious, and what most locals do. Eating out in Norway isn't cheap. Even a simple lunch at a casual restaurant can cost $25 to $40, often just for a main course, no extras. High wages, expensive ingredients, and taxes all add up, making dining out a special occasion, not a regular habit. So, if you're visiting, be ready to adjust your expectations, or your budget. Exploring Norway by bus. A single ride in Oslo or Bergen costs around $5, yes, for just a short trip. That's because buses here are modern, green, and run by well-paid professionals. To save, grab a travel pass, or buy tickets in bulk. Remember, getting around is a big part of your Norway budget. If a city bus ride costs $5, imagine the price of Norway's breathtaking train journeys. These routes are stunning, but tickets can be shockingly expensive. Book far in advance for discounted mini-price tickets, sometimes a fraction of the full fare. The high cost reflects Norway's challenging terrain, skilled staff, and world-class scenery. Taking a taxi in Norway, prepare for sticker shock. Even a short ride can cost $15 to $25, sometimes more if you hit traffic or need a ride at night. Honestly, public transport is cheaper and almost as quick. Save taxis for emergencies. Your wallet will thank you. The first financial hurdle in Norway hits as soon as you land. Airport transfers are shockingly expensive. Whether you take a taxi, express train, or bus, expect to pay far more than you'd imagine, sometimes over $100 one way. Research and book ahead for small savings, and always compare your options. A smart choice here can save your Norway budget. Gasoline in Norway is shockingly expensive, often over $10 per gallon, thanks to high taxes. The government uses these prices to push people toward electric vehicles, and it's working. Norway's streets are filled with EVs. For tourists, renting a car means serious pain at the pump, so consider an electric vehicle instead. Housing in Norway is expensive. Expect to pay over $1,000 a month for even a small studio apartment, often outside city centers. Many consider sharing with roommates to save money. Remember, you'll also need to budget for utilities, internet, and a hefty security deposit. That studio may be your ticket to Norway, but it comes at a steep price. Want more space than a studio? In Norway, a one-bedroom can cost $200 to $2,000 a month. Location is everything. That's up to $24,000 a year, forcing tough choices. Pay more for comfort, or save by sharing or sticking with a studio. For many, roommates aren't just social, they're a smart financial move. The two-bedroom apartment in Norway is where rent really tests your budget. In Oslo, prices often exceed $2,000 a month, sometimes much more. For roommates, that's still over $1,000 each. For families, it means both parents likely need full-time jobs just to afford a comfortable space. In Norway, utilities aren't just about keeping your phone charged, they're essential for surviving long, dark winters. Heating, electricity, and water can add up fast, especially when market prices and weather fluctuate. Staying warm is non-negotiable, so expect bills from $150 to $300 a month or more in winter. That's why Norwegians layer up and watch their energy use, saving money and the planet. In Norway, fast, reliable internet is essential, but it comes at a premium. Expect to pay $60–90 a month for high-speed service with few cheap deals. It's a non-negotiable cost for work, school, and staying connected, so be sure to budget for it. Norway's mobile phone plans are pricey. Expect to pay $40–60 a month for just 10–15 GB of data. Unlimited plans are rare and expensive, so many people hunt for Wi-Fi to save data. You're paying for excellent coverage, even in remote areas, but it's a major monthly expense you'll need to budget for. In Norway, even a simple haircut can cost $30–50, much more than in the US. That's just your average neighborhood barber, not a fancy salon. High wages mean higher prices for everyday services, and haircuts are no exception, so you'll need to budget more. Learn to cut your own hair or just embrace the Viking look. In Norway, gym memberships cost a pretty penny. Expect to pay $40–80 a month, much higher than most places. Many Norwegians skip the gym and head outdoors instead, hiking, running, or skiing for free. With such high prices, the stunning Norwegian nature often becomes the best gym of all. In Norway, a night at the movies is a premium experience. Tickets can cost $20 each, and snacks push the total even higher. It's no longer a cheap, spontaneous outing, but a special occasion you have to budget for. At least for that price, you'll get top-notch comfort and quality. In Norway, even soaking up culture comes at a price. Museum entry fees can easily hit $25 per person, with no free entry days. For a family, that adds up fast, so plan ahead, check prices, and budget for these world-class but pricey experiences. Hotel rooms in Norway are shockingly expensive. Even a basic room in Oslo or Bergen can cost $150 to $300 a night. Even Airbnbs and hostels aren't cheap, with dorm beds often $40 to $60 a night. So, plan ahead, manage your expectations, and remember, this is the price of visiting one of the world's most beautiful countries. Parking in Norway is shockingly expensive. City centers like Oslo can charge up to $8 an hour. Hotels and garages are even pricier. To save money, avoid driving downtown, use public transport, or park on the outskirts at park and ride lots for better rates. Plan ahead to avoid a costly surprise. Childcare in Norway, barnehage, is a major investment for families. While the government caps fees, parents still pay around $300 a month, plus extras for meals and activities, but you're paying for quality, highly educated staff, excellent facilities, and a focus on child development. It's a high-cost, high-service system, an investment in the future. In Norway, a simple night out, dinner, drinks, and a movie can easily cost over $100 per person. Even public transport and snacks add up fast. That's why many Norwegians prefer cozy evenings at home with friends. It's not just tradition, but a smart way to save money. For tourists, be prepared. Weekend fun here comes with a hefty price tag. Norway's grocery bills are truly shocking. For a family of 4, the monthly cost can be $400 to $500 higher than in the US or UK, just for basics like bread, milk, and eggs. Every item adds up fast, with few discounts and high baseline prices. Groceries become a major budget item, forcing careful planning and a new perspective on food and waste. Why is everything so expensive in Norway? High wages, costly rent, taxes, and strict standards all add up, making prices shocking for visitors. But Norwegians also earn some of the world's highest salaries, so locals can afford it. Which price surprised you most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like,